All right, this is one last capital asset pricing model. Recall that the capital asset pricing model suggests that the only risk that is priced in stocks or that affects the stock's expected return is systematic risk, where systematic risk can be denoted as the risk that is not diversifiable or the risk that cannot be diversified away. Sometimes we call this systematic risk market risk. Okay, so we have a problem, the CAPM problem 3. It says assume that the returns for stock D have a covariance with market returns of 0.91. Also assume that the variance of market returns is 0.59. If the market risk premium is 9% and the expected return on the market is 13%, what is the expected return for stock D? So a couple of things. I've added one little wrinkle here. Again, beta is calculated as the ratio of the covariance to the variance, and I've given you both of those numbers. Here's the variance, covariance of the market, or covariance of stock D with the market, and here's the variance of market returns. So we're going to have to calculate beta. But notice also that I gave you the market risk premium, where the market risk premium is the difference between the expected return on the market and the risk-free rate, as well as the expected return on the market. I didn't give you the risk-free rate. So how can we find the risk-free rate? Let's look at that for a second. So notice that I gave you the expected return on the market of 13%. I didn't give you the risk-free rate, and that equals the market risk premium, which is 9%. So the risk-free rate can be backed out of those two values, the market risk premium and the expected return on the market, and the risk-free rate equals 4%. So let me go over here to Excel. So the risk-free rate is 4%. And let's calculate beta real quick. Beta is going to be 0.91, the covariance between the returns for stock D and market returns, divided by the variance of market returns. So I got a beta of 1.51. Now keep in mind that stock D is more risky than the market, or better said, stock D suffers from more exposure to market returns. I'm sorry, more exposure to systematic risk, to market risk, than the market does, the average firm in the market. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's do this now. Now that I have the risk-free rate and beta, this just becomes some simple little arithmetic. Equals the risk-free rate plus beta times the market risk premium, which is 9%, gives me an expected return for stock D according to the capital asset pricing model of 17.88%.